Edison Guzman is the CEO of Prosperity Marketing LLC. He helps local small business owners grow revenues from 6 to 7 figures within a 12 to 24 month period. And he uses a simple 7-step method that's powerful enough to grow just about any business by creating and implementing a unique marketing blueprint custom to the business's specific needs. He's got over 23 years in marketing and advertising. He definitely understands local business, which is great because we've talked a lot about online marketing strategies, and local is a different ballgame. So I'm excited to chat about this. He's currently the president of his local chamber and has served for 9 years on the board of directors for one of the largest chambers of commerce in New York State. So he's also a former president of SCORE, which is a nonprofit organization that helps individuals start up and grow their businesses. And we're really excited to have you on today. So thanks for being with us.
Thanks for having me again, Amy.
So we got a lot to cover here. I was looking at all your info and I want to dig right into it. Let's talk about the marketing blueprint. We all know that's important, but what goes into creating one?
Well, there's so many different things that go in there, but one of the things that I tell everyone is that you don't have to complicate anything. I mean, there are really 7 steps to actually creating a good marketing blueprint that you can follow along, and it should be successful for you. And that's typically what I'm going to try to explain today in the few minutes that we have available.
Yes.
So if you just follow the 7 steps, you should be able to put something together well enough that you can implement starting tomorrow morning and just, go from there.
Awesome. And do you want to go through what the 7 steps are?
Yes, absolutely. Usually you start off at the beginning, right? Step 1 is just know what your business's goals are. I've watched some of your presentations earlier today, and I think even you spoke to this, but before you start anything, you need to know what you're doing. You need to know what is it that you're trying to accomplish. So just creating the goal, and people have heard of the SMART goals, SMART, make sure it's specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely. But just know what the goal is. Are you trying to brand yourself? Are you trying to rebrand yourself? You've been around for a while, but you need to rebrand yourself. Are you just trying to get sales leads? Are you just trying to make a sale? If you're just trying to make a buck, you're probably not in the right business. But if you're trying to genuinely help people, then you're in the right business, because the more people you help, the better it's going to be for your business. Now, a lot of people, of course, don't even know what type of goals to set. I know a lot of business owners that they start off with, hey, I want to make $1 gazillion, right?
Yeah.
What's $1 gazillion? How do you measure that? So have a specific goal on a weekly basis, a quarterly basis, every 6 months, every year. And you need this goal so that you know exactly where you're going. You need to know if you're on track of meeting your goals. So that's step number 1. Know what it is that you're starting off with. So everyone just write down on a piece of paper right now. What is it that I'm trying to accomplish in my business? How many sales am I trying to get? What's this marketing strategy that I'm about to implement today? How is that going to help my business? Okay. And then divide it into 2 things, your short-term goal and your long-term goal. And always know that your short-term goal is always going to lead into your long-term goal. If one doesn't match the other, then don't do it. Okay.
Yeah.
So many people jump around and they go like, oh, this is the best opportunity. Oh, that's a good opportunity. Oh, this guy said to do this. That person said to do that. Especially in today's information technology, where everyone is an overload. You watch YouTube video after YouTube video after YouTube video, and you try to do everything and get nothing done. So know why you're implementing the strategy. So number 1 is just have that goal.
Yeah.
And number 2 is just research. All right. You have to do some research before you actually, see if your goal is actually achievable or not. So you want to know who it is. People have heard of target marketing, right? You have to know, once you set your goals, who is it that you're going to go after? Who is best suited to purchase your product or service? You have to know where they are, where they're located, where they live, where they worship, which categories do they fall into in a spectrum of so many out there, which social media platform they actually listen to, or actually which podcast they listen to, which social media platform they actually go to mostly. Like your last speaker just said that she's mostly on LinkedIn. Okay. That's probably because she finds that LinkedIn is the most powerful for her, the one that's going to give her the most return on her investment. So if you're just watching video after video and saying, like, oh, I'm going to be on Instagram and Snapchat and Pinterest and everything else, what's the strategy behind it? Do some research. Find out if your target market is actually like there. If they're not, you're going to spend a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of energy into something that's not even going to pan out for you. So find out as much as possible for each and every single person that you're trying to approach. And one of the things that a lot of my clients ask me is, how are you going to find out who these people are? Like if you're in business and you're making $1 million a year, $100,000, 10,000, whatever it is, and you know you're not making enough money, that means that you're targeting the wrong people, most probably. One of the things that you can do is do an internal and external, research. External research is places like go to Facebook Insights, plug in your biggest competitor's Facebook page, plug it right into the Facebook Insights, and it'll give you all of the demographics for all of the people that go to that page. Do that for 3 or 4 or 5 of your biggest competitors, and you're going to have a very good idea of who it is that you should be targeting, because you're going to get age group, you're going to get gender, you're going to get whether the people click on ads or not. I mean, just a plethora of information that you're going to do a lot with. Look at Google Trends, look at Google World Insights. You can even go to the U.S. Census Bureau. And you could go to infousa.com. There's so many resources that you can do to do external research that'll give you a good idea of who it is that you need to target. Now, the second type of research is an internal research. And internal research is when you actually look at your own company's information. When you look at your typical customer, when you look at who's buying from you, when they're buying from you, what they're buying from you, what their gender is, their age group is, and any other information you could possibly imagine. If your typical customer is giving you enough return on investment that you're living the lifestyle you want to live right now, then you want to duplicate that, and then you just target that market. The more you know about your specific customer, the better of a target market you have. And there's so many tools I'm going to get into to show you how to target these individuals. But first is finding that out. If you don't have, if you can't data mine your customers, because maybe you just, taking a form and you don't database it anywhere, which is a big mistake. If you can't do that, just take a survey. Send out a simple survey or do a series of surveys until you get as much information about your existing customers as possible. I mean, this works with people that buy your products and people who take advantage of your services. So internal and external ways of researching is going to get you at least who the perfect target market is going to be for your business.
Yeah. So I know you have got tons of information here, and I had a couple other questions. I would love for you to let everyone know how they can get the rest of those steps.
Yes.
But I did want to touch base on the types of tools that are out there. So you've mentioned a few things that to you are so second nature, but to some of our business owners, they maybe don't know what are the tools that they should be looking at to help them with identifying all of this information. Do you have any recommendations there?
Yes, absolutely. But first, I need to just decipher a service from a tool. Okay. So, like for instance, web hosting is a service, right? The website that you put on that web hosting or the funnel that you put on that web hosting account, then that's the tool that you're using. Okay. So, like you could Google anything for web design or for a website, or build your own website, do whatever you need to do, right? But the services that you take advantage of, just make sure that the services are going to allow you to create the tools that you need to create in order to get yourself out there. But some of the tools that you should create, and one of your other speakers said it better than I can, which is a website. Send everyone to your website. The website is the only thing you could possibly control. Facebook could shut your page down tomorrow. LinkedIn could turn you off as well. Instagram, any free service that you take advantage of could just turn off your page because you didn't meet the terms of service. And sometimes you don't know that you're not meeting those terms of service. They just, warn you one time.
And none of them have customer service. So like if you get shut down, there's really not a path to get back on. There's no one you can talk to. There's no one you can call. So
exactly.
You have to own your own contacts somewhere else.
Exactly. So So if someone actually, if your website gets shut down, you call your webmaster or you call your hosting company, or maybe both, okay? But you got someone on the phone and they help you through that. Okay, so a website, and you can put a funnel on your website. I mean, WordPress, you can do so many different things with that. Some people pay hundreds of dollars for, funnel scripts out there. And, you have ClickFunnels out there. You have, you've mentioned Infusionsoft. That's, a little bit more integrated, and it allows you to do a lot more things in there. You have Kartra. You have so many tools out there that you can use. But so many people could just simply use a regular web hosting account. It's going to cost you 10 or 20 bucks a month, and put a plugin that allows you to create funnels, and just have a good e-commerce software that you can use to sell your products or your services. You also need a good email autoresponder. You had a great speaker that talked about email marketing. All right, email marketing on its own, you can do a full day webinar on that one, okay?
Yes.
But make sure that, because email marketing is not just about selling something today, it's about selling something tomorrow and a year and 10 years from now. Email has been around the longest, and I predict that that's going to be around the longest of everything else out there. So try to get people's name and email addresses. All right, so I could go on and on in all the different types of tools that you can use, and I hope those were helpful to you. But I know that these presentations are very short.
I know, and I know we had so many more things we wanted to talk about, so we'll have to jump back on and do another conversation another time. But for now, since we are out of time, I'd love to just hear from you. How can people get in touch with you? What's the best place to go? Because I'm not joking. He had so many talking points that we wanted to get through. I know he's got tons of great, valuable information. Where should they go to connect with you?
Well, one of the things that I did was, as I actually listened to everyone recording today, I mean, everyone was doing everything nicely. I put an actual full presentation of what my talking points were, because I know that 15 minutes is just not enough.
Yeah.
So if you go to prosperitymarketingmagazine.com, and that's Prosperity Marketing Magazine, I'll drop it into the chat box. And then just click on the blog section there, which is all the articles that I have. I created an entire presentation for this that takes you through each of the 7 steps. You don't have to opt in. You don't have to do anything. Just watch the presentation. If you feel that my information is something that can help you, then there is an option for you to put in your name and email address so that you can get more information from me in the future. Everything that I do is I give so much free information so that people will know that when they hire me for my marketing services, they'll know what they're getting.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it. Well, thank you so much for being on. We so appreciate you. So, guys, check him out. We've just put the link in, and Edison, you can go in and answer any questions as well, but we are going to move you back to a panelist. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.